mega chuds and hogs of all different shapes, sizes, and colors, backgrounds, freaking the out over wanting to count votes on the one hand and also wanting to not count votes on the other. I posted this on my Instagram for those of you that don't follow me on Instagram, but here, this is truly a profoundly revealing attitude that the Republicans have. I mean, this is basically their strategy, folks. This is what they're going for. Okay, here's the Republican strategy. Stop that count! Stop that count! You know, stop the votes, but also don't stop the votes. Please, like, keep the count. Count the vote. Stop the vote. We're all over the place. I mean, at some point, you got to recognize that these guys don't really have an attitude. They really don't have a belief system that revolves around a moral compass or anything like that. It's just like, I want the Republican Party to win. I wish we had that kind of dedication on the left, or I wish liberals would do that kind of blind loyalty to like more progressive causes, you know? That would be pretty tight. That would be pretty cool to see. We love to see that, folks. So lawsuits are of course being launched all around the country because Trump recognizes that he doesn't really have a pathway to success here. If the Pennsylvania mail-in ballots keep going like 60 to 80% to Donald Trump, like, it's over, right? Like, the first night he has the red mirage. He's benefiting from that greatly. Things are looking kind of good. But then Fox News throws a massive wrench in that plan by calling calling Arizona. Fox News throws a massive wrench in that plan because now, once Arizona is called for old Biden here, by Fox News, by the way, and not like a liberal media outlet, then it's kind of a rip. Like, you can't really come back from that. You can't be like, I won. I actually won. You know, especially because, like, we don't know what's going on in Wisconsin. We don't know. No one's calling Wisconsin. No one's calling Michigan at that time. He's just, like, trying to do the red mirage thing, but he can't really do it. It fails a little bit. And now he's just watching all of these mail-in ballots come in and, like, deliver some pretty solid victories. Well, not solid, marginal, but still, you know, effective victories over Joseph Robinette in the Rust Belt that he originally swept and caused him to win. And that's not sus to you? Why would that be sus to me? Why would something that I've been literally talking about for 2 weeks be sus to me now? If anything, I was being a little too nervous because I saw the Florida defeat, a state that I knew was very likely still wasn't going to be a lock for Biden, despite all the polling data coming out of there, and then like Georgia and North Carolina as well, states that Democrats didn't need to win. But when I saw the polling disparity, like the actual number of votes once they were all tallied, and how different that was from the original polls, I got a little worried that this was going to be a margin call. And it's not good. And that was definitely not a position that you wanted to be in. Before the election, we talked about this concept as the red mirage. Early votes being counted first, making it seem like Donald Trump has a commanding lead. And then the overwhelming amount of mail-in ballots that come in after, in the next morning or the day after, immediately delivering the lead to Joe Biden. It's understandable that it was going to happen. So if you're confused by that, that means you either haven't been paying attention to the news or are demonstrating your failure to understand how this process works at all. Such is the nature of being a Republican, where you run around like a headless chicken and deny facts. So I'm not that confused by your confusion, at least. Okay, Fox News is okay with Biden because he's a neolib corporatist. If Bernie had been the nominee, they'd be a rah-rah Trump calling the Midwest when Trump was ahead, maybe? Yes. But so would MSNBC. I truly believe that if Bernie Sanders was the candidate currently, it wouldn't be just Fox News rallying around Donald Trump. It would be all of the liberal institutions that certainly would be undermining Bernie Sanders, just like they did in the UK against Corbyn. So the states that were trending blue were not supposed to keep counting, but the ones that are going red should. The funny part about it is that I joked about this earlier this morning, where Donald Trump said, "Stop the count." Right? Like, he literally, he went on Twitter and he was like, "Stop the counts." And at that stage, when he said, "Stop the counts," Donald Trump was behind in Arizona and Nevada, which would mean he would have lost because Joe Biden would have won. They don't even make any sense in their worldview. His own supporters are saying, keep counting the votes in Arizona. Meanwhile, he's like, "Nah, we should stop. We should stop the count. Okay. Well, then you lose. Fake news. He said stop the fraud. No, he didn't. He said stop the count. He literally straight up said stop the count earlier this morning at 7 a.m. And I said right now, if they stop the count in the entire country, Trump would lose since Biden would have Arizona and Nevada. He would no longer need Pennsylvania, Georgia, or North Carolina. This is an impressively stupid and self-defeating command. It's fake news. It's not Donald Trump. Ask someone else who said that. I don't believe you. Must have been someone else.
Hey, Rick Grinnell, we're live on MSNBC right now. Can you talk about the evidence? You're claiming thousands of illegitimate votes here in Nevada. What's the evidence?
You should go in and ask the question of the clerk.
No.
Which you haven't done
yet. You guys just made the
so
claim. No, in fact, you also said there's no election observers. There's Democratic and Republican election observers inside, Mr. Grinnell. Where's the evidence of the fraud? You haven't presented any evidence of fraud.
Where's the evidence?
They've presented no evidence of fraud, Craig. So we're live on MSNBC. You've said thousands of illegitimate ballots. Thousands of illegitimate ballots.
I love that, dude. That's good shit. I'm so confused. They're contradicting themselves, right? Some are saying count those votes. Some are saying stop them. You, with your simple libtard brain, cannot understand the complex mechanics of a Republican winning an election, brother. Now, let me just put on my thinking cap for a second as I tell you libtards how to do these things. Okay, so what's happening right now is that we need to keep counting the votes in Arizona, in a place where we perhaps inappropriately believe that Donald Trump is going to win if all the votes are counted. But also in other places like Pennsylvania, they need to stop the count, just like we tried to stop Michigan and Wisconsin. And the reason why we need to stop those votes is because, well, it seems like Joe Biden is going to win by a decent margin if they count all the mailed-in ballots that were sent in before November 3rd. Now, everybody knows mail-in ballots is the main tenet of communism, right up there with Social Security and free college. You allow mail-in ballots to happen, you allow communism to happen, and God damn it, it's up to me. I will not let this country turn into Vuvuzela. Damn right. I hope you understand. Now, you might not understand because, you know, you're liberal and you like socialism, but that's the big brain method here. That's it. It's simple. It's whatever helps Republicans. If counting votes in a particular area helps Republicans, then you count. If stopping the votes in a particular area helps Republicans, then you stop it. Don Jr. has moved on to calling GOP legislators to explicitly overturn the will of the people. Mark Levin says, reminder to the Republican state legislatures, you have the final say over the choosing of electors, not any board of elections, secretary of state, governor, or even court. You have the final say, Article 2 of the Fed Constitution. So get ready to do your constitutional duty. Brother, the reason why you could have that attitude, the reason why you could literally just like override the will of the people was because at the time, and this is similar to the Senate, at the time they didn't want the will of the people to be represented. They just wanted like land-owning whites, the aristocracy to command the nation. I mean, technically, I guess you're being an originalist because it benefits your needs in this circumstance, but a little fascist. Totally ignorant comment from you as usual. Read the Twitter, the news, anything. Oh, Boo Boo Bennett says Dan Crenshaw was quicker to defend gun control, mass immigration, and censorship of college conservatives than he is to defend Trump when he needs our support. It's a shame he wasn't primaried out. We have to make sure he loses his seat to an actual conservative in 2 years. Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let them fight. I love that. Let them fight, dude. Where are Republicans? Have some backbone. Fight against this fraud. I agree. Our voters will never forget if you're sheep. If you're sheep? God, you're so pathetic. This is why you lose the Donald Trump Jr. of all people. God, pathetic. Anyway, good. Let him fight. I love this shit. Inject this directly into my goddamn veins, dude. Trigger warning, Steve Bannon, ladies and gentlemen.
I actually want to go step. That's the second term. Second term kicks off with firing Ray, firing Fauci. Now, I actually want to go a step farther, but I realize the president is a kind-hearted man and a good man. I'd actually like to go back to the old times of Tudor England. I'd put the heads on pikes, right? I'd put them at the two corners of the White House as a warning to federal bureaucrats.
God, he's so slimy and gross. It's like, you're not going to do shit, bitch. Like, serious fascists, like Mussolini's granddaughter and shit, laughed you out of rooms in Italy when you ran around in your smelly Europe tour where you were like, oh, can I help you guys out with the fascism stuff? And they're like, what the f is this guy doing? Marine Le Pen, get the f out of here. Like, they laughed them out of rooms. They're like, go wear a tie, you bozo. That's what they told him. And now he's back here. He's like, we're going to put Fauci's head on pikes. You're not going to do shit, bitch. You got arrested by the USPS for wire fraud. Dude, imagine fancying yourself as like a war commander because you worked at Breitbart. Like, it's like me running around acting like I'm a revolutionary Antifa brigade leader or something. Like, no, I'm a Twitch streamer who sits in his living room, okay? And guess what? I didn't get arrested by the mailmen for wire fraud. Just because you have a military-looking jacket on with patches on it doesn't actually make you the fascism commander. You're a Goldman Sachs analyst that made most of his money through Seinfeld. You literally got Goldman Sachs to invest in Korean gold farms in World of Warcraft, the power farmers. And you're out here talking like, you're going to decapitate Anthony Fauci. Like, no, this shit's so crazy. It's just so stupid. It's so silly. Like, you're not doing shit, Steve. Take a shower, you human skin tag. Get the out of here. Donald Trump Jr. is saying the best thing for America's future is for real Donald Trump to go to total war over this election to expose all the fraud, cheating. Bro, this literally reads like a Trainwreck's tweet. Is this Trainwreck's? Did he ghostwrite this? Like, what happened? I mean, by the way, Train is not a Trump supporter at all, just for the record. But it seems like it's something he would say in his voice. You know what I mean? Like, the best thing for Donald Trump's future is for the real Donald Trump. The best thing for America's future is the real Donald Trump to go to total war over this election to expose all the frauds, cheating, dead/no longer in-state voters that has been going on for far too long. It's time to clean up this mess and stop looking like a banana republic. Tim Alberta, the GOP spokesperson, Liz RNC is lying to you. Milwaukee County turnout was 80% in 2016, not 61%. Milwaukee County turnout was 84% in 2020. There was no 20-point jump. See for yourself. Republicans are really wilding out. I mean, they're like I said, they're just like swinging at the fences. I did make fun of Ben Shabibo. This is another one of those instances where like they're just like, I'm scared, man. I'm scared. This much copium and you're gonna overdose. The amount of copium that they're inhaling is way too much over the course of 48 hours. It's way too much. I mean, listen, this is literally shot from inside the room. Okay, nothing's this open and transparent process like covering up the windows. Not only is this shot from inside the room, so very clearly, there are cameras in there. But if you look here, that's the media line. That is literally the media line. That right there is the media line. And also, guess what some of those guys with cameras are doing? Live streaming the entire process. Got 30,000 retweets, man.
So Donald Trump gets a historical percentage of minority votes. And there are counties where between 75, 100,000, in some cases, I guess there was 23.5 thousand ballots show up. Not one single Trump voter. They also happen to be ballots that don't talk about any of the races other than president. Does anyone believe that this is possible?
No, because you're making all of it up. You literally mentioned the Steven Crowder mail-in ballots in pizza boxes conspiracy. Then you followed through with the Ben Shapiro cardboard boxes are blocking the entry points or the blocking the windows conspiracy. Again, Steven Crowder's conspiracy was literally a person bringing in an assistant of a photographer, bringing in cameras. Okay. The Ben Shapiro conspiracy was so stupid you could literally immediately destroy it by looking at the rest of the room where all the media was in there, filming it and live streaming the process. And now you're saying that, like, now you're just throwing out the classic one, which is that these ballots are just fake that came out of nowhere. It's just all bullshit. Grade A Fox News copium. Get it while it's hot. Nice.
You're a lawyer also.
Lindsey Graham tells Hannity he's donating
dollars.
Oh, it's so good. Give it to me, Lindsey. Let's see what you got.
$500,000 tonight to President Trump's defense legal fund. I've been on your show. You've raised a ton of money for me. Your audience was incredibly helpful to LindseyGraham.com. Give to DonaldJTrump.com so we'll have the resources to fight. The allegations of wrongdoing are earth-shattering. It makes the Carter...
Lindsey Graham 2 weeks ago, please give me money. This black man is defeating me in South Carolina. I will do anything. I'm losing in one of the reddest states in America. Please give me some money. Please, I beg you. Now he's like, yeah, I'm caked up, bitch. I got $500,000 for Donald Trump. Smells like broken here. I'm Lindsey Graham. We will fix it. Stop flexing, bitch. It's you begged for that last week.
If that part of the election law is violated, now we also know that the Constitution allows state legislators to serve, they're the ones that would make decisions. Should these Republican lawmakers in Pennsylvania and elsewhere, if there's corruption in the law, they don't abide by the law.
It's so funny they say this because, like, it's pure projection, right? Like, Republicans always love blaming Democrats who are otherwise feckless cowards and should do more trickery, if you ask me. It's another case of pure projection where it's like, well, these Democrat legislators are ruining the process. It's like, bitch, what do you mean? Like, that's the entire Republican strategy.
Why are they shutting people out? Because they don't want people to see what they're doing.
That's not true. They're not doing that. That is a lie. They are not shutting people out. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, all 130,000 of you in here right now, this is not the truth. This is a fabrication. There was already a court case that happened earlier, specifically revolving around this conversation that they're having currently. But this, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, what they are having a conversation around is a pure fabrication. It is not the truth at all. Absolutely, there are Republican watchers in there right now. They went to court over it and they lost. So they wanted to basically stop the count as quickly as they could, and that failed.
But in a state that can prove that the law was violated and observers were kept away, which is their right, which is the law, do you have a revote?
That is a tough question. I can tell you in election law litigation, the standard for holding a new election is extraordinarily high. Courts try to do everything else before they do that. But, I am more...
What? What level of copium is this, dude? A revote? This is like Austin talking about the state of Texas. You know what I mean? Austin Show, aka Mr. Show. He just had a massive dating show earlier. Like, this is him telling me, like, oh, there should be a revote in the state of Texas. Like, that's not happening, brother. Even Ted Cruz knows that's not happening. And he's the Zodiac killer. I am overdosing. This is too much.
More than a little frustrated that every time they close the doors and shut out the lights, they always find more Democratic votes.
Oh, come. Hey, listen to me. Listen to me. Guys, what the I tell you for literally a week now. There is no such thing as a good Republican, okay? There just isn't. There is no such thing. These professionals are all just as horrific and just as much as predisposed towards lying as Donald Trump, okay? My brain is I'm hitting a brain fart moment here.
1776! 1776! The globalists thought they defeat our country. They've only awakened the sleeping giant.
Yeah, I can't do this. One of the things you can ask your family members or your stupid friends who keep saying like there's a serious voter fraud happening or whatever is like, if there's serious voter fraud happening, why is it just happening for the president? Like, a president alone is not going to win shit. The presidency alone is not going to cut it. Why did they only do fraud for the presidency? Like, why didn't they also win the Senate seats? Why didn't they also win some districts? Like, Democrats lost districts in the House. Weird how all the older Bernie bros who complained about the DNC stealing the nomination from Bernie 2 times now want to pretend that our elections are fair and honest. I think there is a fundamental misunderstanding with what Boo Boo Bennett is saying here about Bernie bros and how the DNC stole the nomination. The DNC does not have to be impartial. It's literally, legally, not an obligation that they have as an institution. That's one. And 2, the DNC trickery is beyond. It's just media coverage. It's not like literally changing the results of an election. As a matter of fact, during the primaries, there were numerous instances where there were conspiratorial thinkers in my audience as well that would come to me and say, look at this Illinois local broadcaster. They showed election results for the primary elections that are going to happen tomorrow. they're setting up the election ahead of time. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way.